Stay tuned and let's take a look at this Mattel Amber Collection Jurassic Park Robert Muldoon. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Quite simply show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we are taking a look at this Mattel Amber Collection Jurassic Park Robert Muldoon. Now, if you've been following the channel for any amount of time, you know I love this Amber Collection line from Mattel. It's essentially a toy line I wish I had as a kid, and now as an adult, it's crazy that we're getting all these years later, but we are getting some accurate figure representations of the human characters from Jurassic Park. One of my favourite movies, it genuinely is. So to be able to represent these figures as they should be in my collection is amazing. And we're so nearly close now to completing all of the human characters. Of course, we need the kids, which I'm hoping we're getting a 2-pack. But I've got 2 of the main adults still left to open. First one here we're going to look at today is Robert Muldoon. But I have, of course, also got Dr. Alan Grant. So of course I'm saving the best till last. Stick around as I will also be reviewing him on the channel. And I do have all the others, so stick around for comparisons as well to sort of see how they all line up together. But Robert Muldoon here, definitely a character we needed. Obviously he met his demise to the Velociraptors, but still an important part of the Jurassic Park movie. So in the box, the Amber Collection, as I said, it is just about 6-inch, 7-inch scale sort of, but they come with accessories. And again, it's the scale that I collect action figures. So the fact that these characters can fit in the world I've already built in my display, amazing. So we get a gun, which isn't 100% accurate from what we see, but I understand why they couldn't just give us a shotgun. I get it. We do get 2 interchangeable hands, which I'm assuming are trigger fingers, but we shall see. He comes with his hat and of course an interchangeable head. Now, at first glance, I can't really tell the difference between the 2 heads, but I am assuming this second one is looking off to the left a little bit when he at the end of the film, when he got caught by the raptors. You know what I'm talking about. But yes, here he is in the box. Let me spin it around. On this side, you actually get why they call it the Amber Collection. You get it? The mosquito is in the amber. The Amber Collection. On the back of the box, we get an actual picture of Robert Muldoon, a screenshot, if you will, from the Jurassic Park movie, as well as a little write-up that reads: as the game warden at Jurassic Park, Robert Muldoon clearly understands the dangerous and deadly nature of the Velociraptors. Despite being a trained hunter, Muldoon ultimately succumbs to the clever behaviour he recognises from the start. So yeah, as I said, Robert Muldoon, definitely a character worthy being on the shelf. I have got his Legacy Collection one, which I will also do a very stupid comparison, but he is there. But I am happy to have these figures in this scale. Let's get them open. Here we have Robert Muldoon out of the packaging with all of his accessories on the table. And as mentioned, he comes with a weapon, interchangeable hands, interchangeable head, and his hat. So first things first, let's give the man his hat, shall we? Because he just doesn't look right without it. That's made of a nice soft plastic, fits on the head no problem at all. And there you go. Already looks much better. Any Jurassic Park fan will be able to spot this guy in the collection. Now, he doesn't come with his accurate gun from the movie. Instead, they've gave him some sort of cattle prod, it seems, but I'm sure we can get it to work. But that's decent enough, and the hands are trigger fingers as I expected. So yeah, first impressions, this is undoubtedly Robert Muldoon from Jurassic Park. Very happy to add him to the Amber Collection. But let's zoom in and check it out, because I still can't tell the difference between that overhead. Okay, so getting a closer look up top, I really like the way you can pull his hat down as it's a separate piece, so you can get this sort of sinister look where you can't even see his eyes. However, let's lift it up a little bit and reveal the actor underneath, which is of course Bob Peck, who played Robert Muldoon, and I do think the likeness here is really good. And the hat being a separate piece is a nice touch as well, as it's a hollow hat, soft plastic, it's going to fit on either head, no problem at all. So that is really nice. You let me know, do you reckon that looks like the actor Bob Peck? I'll throw up side by side if I remember in post. But I think it's really good. So he's got those beady eyes, that sort of receding hairline, which is a bit tatty up there under the hat, and then that 5 o'clock shadow all the way up to the sideburns here. But yeah, this guy looks really nice, spinning around, and again, you can see the hair on the back. So no hair detail or anything like that, and it's quite a simple sculpt, but I do think the likeness is really good. Considering they're not using like any 3D digital face printing tech, it's pretty good for what it is. So I like that a lot. So again, a hat, separate piece, squeezes on the head, nice and firm, no problem at all. That's not coming off, and a decent range on the head as well. But he has got an interchangeable head, so let's swap that out. So here's the second head sculpt, and at first I really couldn't tell the difference, but now I've got him out the box and I've got a closer look. This face definitely looks a lot more concerned, a little bit more worried. His eyes are definitely looking off to the right a little bit more. So this is definitely that look on his face at the end of the film when the raptors finally get him and he says that line, "Clever girl." And again, because the hat is a separate piece, it will fit on either head, no problem at all. So now you can have a more stern looking Robert Muldoon or a more concerned looking Robert Muldoon. The creases in his face are different as well, and his mouth is slightly open a little bit. So there are differences between the two head sculpts. And if I bring up the other one for a quick side by side, you can see the head sculpts are different. So one more stern, the other one a little bit more worried. But again, the hat fits on either. You can pose them up however you want, but it's a nice little touch. I like options as always, so that's pretty good. So yeah, a concerned Robert Muldoon because he knows what's coming off to the left, which is of course a raptor. So yeah, that's pretty good. I like that a lot. Now let's check out the rest of the figure because you have to say the uniform is pretty spot on. So this vest is a separate piece made of a softer plastic, just like the hat. And again, the tone does match the hat as well. He's got a little sort of badge there, little ID tag, if you will. And I can't really read what it says, but it definitely has a bit of detail to it, a bit of colour. Other than that, it's just got sort of a greenish shirt on, sort of short sleeves, and then he's got a watch down here as well. And as you can see, it is double jointed, so that's a pretty good range on these figures. And there's also a swivel there underneath the sleeve hidden really well. So that's a nice piece of articulation hidden. And there's also a swivel and a hinge on the wrist. So nice range there. And no ab crunch, but there is a waist swivel, as you can see, just there above the belt. Let me zoom out a little bit, that'll help. And there's also a diaphragm joint up here at the waist. So you get sort of more movement and more crunch. There's his hat fell off. More crunch back and forth there. Shirt is sort of opened up a little bit down here. Shorts sort of match the shirt with that belt, bit of gold. Bit of, there you go, a bit of gun holster, but obviously that's just molded, unfortunately. High socks, and then boots as well, and a decent range on the boots. The cut is a bit obvious though. It's sort of very obviously two pieces, which is unfortunate, but it does give you ankle pivot and a hinge. Does it have ankle pivot? I'm not too sure if it does actually, but it's definitely got a hinge, so he may be difficult to stand. But there's his legs on show, high socks, shorts, and there is a bit of paint detail on these shorts, like a bit dirtier. Even the jacket has a bit of different colours on there, a little bit of grime, if you will, when the light hits it. But overall, I do think this is a great likeness to the actor and the character we see in the movie. Some bands there on his wrist there, and again, as I said, watch on that one. That's moulded on, by the way. That's not going to come off. So yeah, let's get his hat back on because yeah, that completes the look, doesn't it? No matter what face you use, as I said, any Jurassic Park fan is going to be able to notice this guy on the shelf. And yeah, there is a bit of dirt on there, a bit of paint detail, a bit of deco, subtle, but it works. As mentioned, he comes packed with 2 C-grip hands. So if you have some of the other accessories like a walkie-talkie or something, I'm sure he'll be able to use these hands to hold them. But he himself comes with a set of, so I thought it was a set of trigger finger hands, but it is just one trigger finger hand there and then another tighter C-grip, which I'm assuming is to hold the gun. So here's his gun, which, as I said, looks more like a cattle prod with the sort of bronze poker up here, and then a very long gun. There is a little bit of red and green down here as well. Nicely sculpted wraps around it, whether it's cables or electric, whatever they want it to be. It's not 100% accurate to what we see him use in the film a lot, but I'm sure it's a weapon that I'm sure that the gamekeepers here at Jurassic Park would have used to try and keep these dinosaurs at bay. So let's see if Robert can hold it. Short answer is yes, he can of course hold it. I do think the gun is a little bit chunky, a little bit oversized, so he's going to be limited with poses. But if you just want to stand him on the shelf, holding a giant pokey gun, then he can do that, but it's going to take up a little bit of real estate. He looks like a Ghostbuster there, doesn't he? But yeah, he can hold it, and that tighter C-grip is so he can hold the barrel of this gun a little bit better as well. But as you can see, if I zoom in a little bit, that trigger finger will sort of sit in the trigger, and then that hand will grip the gun a lot tighter. And if I take that off, and again, just mention articulation on this guy, because I do think the range is really good for this figure. The shoulders will go all the way up and spin all the way around. And I didn't mention, but his legs, double jointed knees, and the swivel is very cleverly hidden at the top of the shorts. So there's a swivel there instead of the thigh up there. It's a little bit lower down, but it works because they can hide that in the cut of the shorts. Then the legs go like Robert Muldoon can do the splits, people. Come on now, you can't be mad at that. Legs go forward quite a lot and back. not so much, but that's fine. That's just human anatomy for you. So again, like this figure as an action figure, definitely the best representation of these Jurassic Park figures with characters we've ever got. Okay, so the first comparison, I wanted to see how he lined up with a Velociraptor, of course. So there he is holding his gun. As you can see, you can get him posed up quite well using that cattle prod to his advantage. But again, I would prefer a more accurate sort of shotgun, which he has in the film, of course, or a tranquilizer gun. Or he does use a plethora of weapons, but I don't remember this one. This one doesn't come to my mind. But again, it works for the sake of an action figure. And as you can see, this Amber Collection Velociraptor scales beautifully well with these human characters. And this is a beautiful figure within itself with a great range of articulation that can really adjust the scale depending on how you want to get him posed up with those arms and that jaw and his bendy wide tail. And yeah, unfortunately, Robert Muldoon has no chance against these guys. Clever girl. Now, this may seem like an irrelevant comparison, but it is the only other Robert Muldoon I have in my current collection. So here we have the Mattel Legacy Collection Robert Muldoon, which is of course at the 3 3/4 inch scale. Now, Mattel have been doing this line longer than the Amber Collection, and they have given us a lot of characters in this scale, which do scale with their dinosaurs a lot better, of course. So there are more of a range for posing. However, at this scale, you're never going to get the amount of accuracy you can at the 6 inch. That's why I love the 6 inch that little bit more, because there is definite likeness to the actor Bob Peck, of course, in this 6 inch version, and there's no likeness unfortunately here. It just hits those same sort of character designs from the movie with the jacket, the shorts, the hat. And obviously the Legacy Collection one actually had the shotgun rather than this cattle prod, so that was a little bit more accurate. Now, Mattel haven't stopped either of these lines. You can still collect Amber Collection and Legacy Collection and have two different scales of Jurassic Park on your display. And I do think with the movie coming out next year, we will continue to get figures from both lines. They're a little bit sporadic, they're not very good at announcing them, but if you are a Jurassic Park fan, there are definitely options out there for you. And yeah, depending on what scale you want, but for me, every day of the week, it's going to be 6 inch. Now, I said 6 inch scale when I really need to correct myself, don't I? So let's actually get the tape measure out, because it's more of a 6.5 inch scale, if you will. So there is the tape measure, and you can actually see he is a little bit taller than 6.5 inches tall, but he will fit nicely in with the rest of this Amber Collection, I am sure. So yeah, in regards to scale, it's just a little bit bigger than 6 inch, but still, it's going to work in the display for sure. And to demonstrate exactly what I mean, here we have some more of the Amber Collection. So we've got Dennis Nedry and Ray Arnold, of course. And as you can see, Robert Muldoon stands a little bit taller, but mainly because of his hat, but still fits perfectly in scale with these. Next up, we've got John Hammond and, of course, Ian Malcolm in their trademark looks from the movie. And yeah, this just screams Jurassic Park. And this comparison screams Jurassic Park even more. It is, of course, Dr. Alan Grant, Ellie Statler, and of course Robert Muldoon, all in their classic looks from Jurassic Park at this scale. And again, as a kid, I had all three of these characters in their Kenner forms, which were loosely based off what you've seen in the movie. But now, as an adult collector, I can have these accurate representations of these characters from one of my favourite films on the shelf. Honestly, this makes me very happy. And to further demonstrate how it will fit in scale with the rest of my collection, here we have a couple of Marvel legends with Captain Britain and Worthy Hellfire Hank. So final thoughts, I am very happy to add this Jurassic Park Amber Collection Robert Muldoon to the collection. Honestly, I think this Amber Collection line is very underrated, and if you're a Jurassic Park fan and collect figures at the 6 to 7 inch scale, it is something you do not want to sleep on. Once you've got this line complete and they're all standing together on the shelf, it is something to behold, and any Jurassic Park fan will be happy to add them to the collection, I'm sure. These are beautiful figures, very accurately represent the characters from the film that we love so much. So yeah, once they're all together on the shelf, I can't wait to build this epic display. Just Mattel, please do not forget to give us Timmy and Lex, all right? That's all we need. I can live without some dinosaurs, but we need those characters. But there are options for dinosaurs as well, of course. As I said, check out the lines. Check out jurassic-toys.co.uk as well. Link is in the description. Go and buy some. Just buy one of your favourite characters and get the figure in hand, and I'm sure you'll be impressed. Always impressed at Mattel doing figures at this scale. Honestly, the range of articulation is better than some other lines, I can promise you that. But yes, you let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you in on this Jurassic Park Park line? Are you only picking up certain characters? Are you going for the A-listers, skipping the side characters? Do you just care about dinosaurs? Let me know all of that stuff in the comments below. But most importantly, people, you like reviews, you like toys, nostalgia, all of that good stuff, then please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. You can also hit that join button, become a channel member as well, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and I'm on Twitter as well. Tweet me, Dan Who Reviews. And until then, people, my name is Dan W, and I will of course see you on the next one.